What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping in the next one on our Jonna Jinton journey, the art of balancing stones. Listen, I've been to a lot of places where I've seen the little cairn stone statue kind of things where people are balancing, just ridiculously balancing stones, and sometimes it doesn't even look like it should be possible to do, but people are magic, and I don't know how they do it, but it's just gonna say, here's how I do it. And we still won't be able to do it. It takes a magical being, I think, to be able to stack stones in certain ways, or a hell of a lot of patience and a lot of trial and error at first. If you guys enjoy it, make sure you get over and show her all the love in the world. Let's see if we can figure out how they do this, because I've been to a lot of places where it's just be like beautiful landscape and bam, someone came there and set up this crazy ass balancing act with stones. It always seems very magical. I never ever even mess with them. Like, I'm just like, no, that's not supposed to be doing that. So the fact that it is, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that alone. That's not something I should mess with. Let's see what she does. Let's jump into it. Let's go.
I really love balancing stones, mostly because I think it's such a great way to also balance myself and to create something beautiful at the same time.
You see?
Even though a little wind is enough to make it look like your sculpture never was there. But in this moment, as I try to find a tiny, tiny little balance point, my thoughts are completely silent. And that's a very good feeling. Sometimes it only takes a couple of minutes to make a balance, and sometimes an hour.
See? That would be me, only it would take me days. We're not talking hours for some of these balances.
But when it's done, I love to watch the stone balance. It looks so still and quiet in a world that is constantly moving. Very often, I see people commenting that it's fake, that it's impossible to do this, and that it's photoshopped or glue. But I kinda get excited about those reactions, because it's a proof that there is so much more in this life than we could ever imagine. If some people think that this is impossible, imagine then how many more things there is in life that we still think is impossible, just because we never really tried it. Just because we already put the frames on what is possible and not.
Well, there have definitely been a lot of people throughout history that were told things that were impossible, but they believed that they could do it. And now look at, there's some things that we would have never ever dreamt of that we now have. And that's because of dreamers. That's because people who are willing to sit there and go through the many painstaking hours to make it right, to figure it out, to come up with a plan. This doesn't look like it should be possible. It's not something that I could just sit down and do legitimately.
What is possible and not.
I would try, though. For a long time, I would try.
I also get a lot of questions about how to learn this, and my advice is, just go get out there, find some stones, play around and have fun. After a while, you will get to know the stones and get a feeling of how to balance them in the best way. And you will learn to see which stones works best together. You might spend a lot of time trying to balance a stone that will never balance, but you learn something every time, and it's a wonderful way of spending time in nature. Depending on what kind of stone balance you're doing, the balance point can be really tiny. So the movements that you do while adjusting the stones to find the balance point are so tiny that you can barely see it with your eyes. You just feel it with your hands. And when you finally find that tiny balance point, the gravity will be there for you to hold your stones together.
Well, stone stacking, anybody? I'll be really good at stone stacking, not so much at stone balancing, but that doesn't mean that I won't try it. I'm saying, Jonna Jinton, you have a magical way of viewing the world, and I'm glad that she's on this platform to help us be able to see it a little bit better, to see some of the beauty that comes from the world. She definitely sees it. It's like a druidess or something. Definitely one with nature over there. Get over, show her all the love in the world. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button, but something's wrong with you. Until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. Love you to the moon and back. Peace.